tube end forming machine. This type of machine, with the 8500 series, they operate with cylinders that are made specially by AMH, and we make them so that there's a variety of different applications in the tube end forming. We'll go into more detail on the cylinders here shortly. This machine is completely self-contained. The horsepower and the gallons a minute of the oil pumping and the pressure and everything is determined by the customer on what he wants to form, whether it's thin wall, heavy wall. Looking at the back of the machine here, here's the motor here. This one happens to be a 20 horse motor. The reservoir here is all self-contained with a sufficient amount of oil. We look around here. Again, the reservoir. Right here, we're looking at the gauge, how much oil is in the reservoir. Here's the filler cap where we fill it up, and here's the pump. And on the pump, we have an arrow that when you hook it up, it's got to be rotating in the proper rotation, otherwise you'll damage the pump. This particular pump is a gear pump. Right here, we're looking at the pressure setting valve. It's a pressure relief valve. You can set the pressures up to 3,000 psi. And here we're looking at the solenoid valves. There's 3 on this one here. You have one for the forming cylinder, the clamp cylinder, and then the second forming cylinder. Here we're looking at the starter box for the start the motor. Here we're looking at the front of the machine. Up here is a control box. And you can see right there to the left there's a 2-position switch. There's the left side of the forming, and there's the right side of the forming. The left side does reducing, and the right side does beading. Over here, you see reduced cylinder, and you can manually go forward and reverse. If you come down here, there's a clamp cylinder, and there's a bead cylinder. Because when you come to the right up here, you're going to set it on the right side of the forming process, and that's this side right here. Now you can see on this one right here, there's 3 proximity switches. The 2 on the bottom here, the one on the left-hand side, that's a home switch. This one up here is prox number 1. This is prox number 2, the one on the right side. The reason for this is we have to reduce in stages to minimize the die marks. And this one here has a standard JIC cylinder, where this particular cylinder here is our own RCP series hydraulic cylinder. That cylinder there can go up to 10,000 psi. Not that we need it. And here you're looking at an arm that'll lift up the segment set once we put the bead in there. And we're looking at the clamp assembly. We're looking at the reducing dies. And this one happens to have 12 segments. Up on the top there, there's the mandrel. As it goes forward, it shuts these dies. We'll be forming here in a couple minutes. Over here, you see the segment set to make the bead. And if you look there, on this clamp, this is the bottom clamp. Oops. You can see there that there's a pocket where we make the bead. There's the bead that we made there on the end of the tube. This is just for slipping a hose over and then locking it. So the smoothness is not critical. Down here on the floor we have a foot pedal, and this is for for running the machine in the automatic cycle. Now I've got the switch set on the right hand side, which is the beading side of the unit, and I'm going to run through an automatic cycle without any tube in there. When I hit the foot pedal, clamp closes, opens up and takes the thing out. Unfortunately we're having a problem with the voltage, so you hear some chatter. I'll try to go again, see if I can get it. Here we go. Now the arbor goes forward, it comes back, opens up, and then it lifts up. It lifts up so that we can take the tube out and clear the clamp. We'll try making a form here in just a second, because like I say, this is a 208 voltage, and if we don't have the right coils, where it's going is 240 volts, and 208 can be kind of low. And now I have the control system on the left side of the machine, which is the reducing side. I'll hit the foot pedal and you'll see what takes place. First stage, final stage, that's it. Okay, now I'll run through an automatic cycle here. Turn the machine on. And you'll see the segment sets will go in stages. I just hit the foot switch to try to make this cycle, but it wouldn't cycle because it's always got to be on the home proximity switch before you can start the cycle. And you have to hold the foot pedal down to complete the whole cycle. Now it's going to go, the first cycle is going to go to a certain diameter, then the last cycle is the final cycle. Now the final diameter, here we go. Unfortunately, you heard all the chatter because of the low voltage on the coil, but you saw what took place here in slow motion, basically. With the right voltage, it'll be very fast. Okay, now we come over here and look at the proximity switches. Okay, now we're going to go through an automatic cycle. We'll hit the foot pedal. Last time we missed the cue, so we're going to hit the foot pedal. There's the first one, second cycle, back. Hit it one more time. First stage, then it goes to second stage, back to home and stops. Okay, now I'm going to make a reduction, and you see how it takes place here. I'm going to have the foot pedal. I put the tube inside. Okay, now I'm going to make a reduction. I put the tube inside. Hit the foot pedal. I'm rotating it a little bit. If I can find it, there it is. It's that simple to do. And then with the right dies, we come over to here, and we stick it in there. Unfortunately, right there we have it's a 1-inch die, which made this particular bead right there, we see right there. So it's a very simple machine to operate, and it's a very high production machine. Another product designed and built by A&H.